If I could quickly go to Idris Lone, who has been reporting rather for us from Kashmir and covering that belt. Idris, it was the first time in 35 long years that Jammu and Kashmir saw such a massive turnout. Now, usually a bigger turnout is usually assessed as an anti-incumbency mood. But do you think a place like Jammu and Kashmir should be only assessed through that lens?
Well, absolutely not. If we talk about Jammu and Kashmir specifically, a lot of people, and one of the main reasons for people coming out in huge numbers was that this was the first election taking place after the abrogation of Article 370. After 2019, we've seen many changes being done in terms of delimitation, in terms of development of major cities like Srinagar as well as Jammu. The BJP doing its best to reach out to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, although we've seen in the last few months the violence has taken up again, but not to that extent what we've seen in the past few decades. So overall, if we talk about the situation in Jammu and Kashmir, it has gone towards peace and development for sure, but at the moment it seemed like people came out in huge numbers because at least in the Kashmir region, a lot of them were disappointed with the decision that was taken in 2019. If we talk about the candidates in these 5 seats, in North Kashmir, Omar Abdullah losing, and in South Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti also losing is a big setback for both the former chief ministers. It was not expected. None of the exit polls also gave an indication that at least Omar Abdullah will lose the Baramulla seat, but he seems to be losing that to Engineer Rashid, who's an independent candidate and has been languishing in the jail from the last many years before the Article 370 was revoked. And a lot of people have come out. It seems like a sympathy vote, but in huge numbers. He's ahead of Omar Abdullah as well as People's Conference's candidate Sajjad Lone in the Baramulla constituency. If we talk about South Kashmir seat, delimitation also changed the dynamics of the South Kashmir's Anantnag seat because it was added, the Jammu's 2 regions, which is Poonch as well as Rajouri belt, was added to the Anantnag seat, which used to be a bastion for Mehbooba Mufti because she comes from South Kashmir's Anantnag district. But this time it was very clear that she would definitely not make it because she had aggressively campaigned in all the region. But it was very clear that the National Conference has an edge especially over the regions like Poonch and Rajouri, as well as some of the parts of South Kashmir. So that is one of the reasons that we are seeing National Conference's Mia Altaf also winning the seat with a huge margin. On the other hand, if we talk about Srinagar's seat, the candidate just walked in who's leading at the moment from the National Conference, Aga Ruhullah. He's also way ahead, around 2 lakh votes ahead of the other candidates in the fray. So it seems he will also have an easy win in this parliamentary elections. While as if we talk about Jammu, it seems that BJP might keep both the seats that they've kept from the last 10 years now. BJP's Dr. Jitendra Singh is still leading in Udhampur seat, while as Jugal Kishore is way ahead than the Congress candidate he is in direct fight with in the Jammu region as well. So it seems like to an extent the exit polls were right, but when it comes to the 2 former chief ministers, they were completely off, especially when we speak about the former chief minister Omar Abdullah.
Right. I just want to go back to Siddharth and just delve deeper into what's really happening in Telangana, because very interesting takeaways from there, specifically for KCR's party. And if you look at how the BJP has already opened its account in Kerala, and if we just look at the way in which the battle lines have been drawn, but specifically in Telangana, the state seems to be evenly divided between the 2 sides.
So yes, as you pointed out, Kerala, very interesting battle playing out there. In fact, it's the left government, CPIM government that's in power. So there, the CPIM government has been in power in the state, and they've managed to win one Lok Sabha seat so far. It's been largely a Congress and Congress alliance sweep there. In fact, Kerala is very, very interesting and unique because there is no India alliance in Kerala. Two constituents of the India alliance, that is the left parties and the Congress, are fighting against each other there, because Kerala has had a long history where the left and Congress have been fighting against each other and have not been part of the same bloc. So under such circumstances in Kerala, there were multiple three-cornered fights, one of which has been pretty much won by Suresh Gopi, the BJP candidate from Thrissur. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, of course, is trailing behind Shashi Tharoor right now in Thiruvananthapuram. And overall, looking at the south, in many places, it looks as though it's a direct contest between the BJP and Congress, increasingly, because earlier there were strong regional parties, but this time the footprint of some regional parties has gone low, and BJP is able to come second in more seats. Although they're able to win more seats, they're also able to come second in more seats, indicating the growing clout of the party in otherwise territories that they did not have a great deal of clout. Telangana, case in point, because they're almost doubling their seats in Telangana. They had about 4 seats last time in the Lok Sabha from Telangana, but this time around they seem to be doubling it. Those are the leads that we last checked. In addition to that, even in Karnataka, they're able to retain pretty much at least 70% of the seats that they won last time. They're able to retain it. And even in Tamil Nadu, in some places, they're able to come second, which is showing something that the party is having some sort of green roots in this part of the country where they've not seen any success so far. 2014 was the last time that the BJP had an MP from here. After that, 2019, it was a rout. And then here also, this time it's a rout. It's only one of their allies who is likely to win. So this is the kind of situation we're seeing prevailing down south, where in more of locations you're seeing a direct fight between the BJP and Congress, and some of the footprint and the sort of impact of large regional parties who have played a big role, including the BRS in Telangana and the AIADMK in Tamil Nadu. Their role is being diminished now for various reasons, leadership issues, because they've been out of power for quite some time. Charismatic leadership being absent in the case of AIADMK. So now AIADMK in most seats is second. In some seats they've even been pushed to third, which is kind of surprising in Tamil Nadu, because this is a party that's in the state opposition. This is a party that's ruled the state for decades.
Absolutely.
So this is also
and
one of the
which is why, like we discussed right at the outset, what happens in the southern region carries a lot of ramifications, especially when it comes to the solidification of the opposition alliance, and also talking about the BJP's prospects overall. We're leaving it there for the moment. Siddharth, MP and Idris, thanks very much for joining us.